Good evening. On Politics HQ tonight, these are the stories that made our headlines. Donald Trump has secured a stunning victory in the U.S. presidential election, overcoming his divisive rhetoric, felony conviction, and 3 ongoing criminal cases to clinch a return to the White House. The former president reached the 270 electoral vote threshold with a win in Wisconsin, solidifying his path to the office. Now, at 78, Trump becomes the second former president in U.S. history to reclaim the presidency after losing re-election, and the oldest person ever elected to the nation's highest office. In his victory speech, Trump vowed to fight for America every single day of his life, addressing supporters on Wednesday night.
Tiffany, Barron, Laura. This was a movement like nobody's ever seen before. And frankly, this was, I believe, the greatest political movement of all time. There's never been anything like this in this country and maybe beyond. America has given us an unprecedented and powerful mandate. We have taken back control of the Senate. Wow, that's good. It's time to put the divisions of the past 4 years behind us. It's time to unite. And we're going to try, we have to try, and it's going to happen. Success will bring us together. I've seen that. They came from all corners, union, non-union, African-American, Hispanic American, Asian American, Arab American, Muslim American. We had everybody, and it was beautiful. It was a historic realignment. This is a great job. There's no job like this. This is the most important job in the world.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has ordered that the national flag be flown at half-mast across the nation for 7 days in honor of the late Chief of Army Staff, that's Lieutenant General Taoreed Abiodun Lagbaja. The directive was issued in a statement on Wednesday by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, signed by Segun Emesuwen. Now, that's the Director of Information and Public Relations. The statement conveyed the president deep regret at the passing of the general, who died at the age of 56 after a brief illness. The statement also highlighted President Tinubu's appreciation for the late Army Chief's service to the nation, offering condolences to his family and wishing them strength in this difficult time. Our focus tonight, however, is on the forthcoming Ondo polls. I'll be speaking with Sola Ebiseni, the governorship candidate of the Labour Party, and also Wole Akingbasote, as the chairman of the Ondo State PDP Diaspora Committee. Welcome to the program once again. I am Dakbo Adigboye. Let's get some answers. Good evening, sir. Good evening, Mr. Sola. Good evening, Mr. Sola. Can you hear me, sir? Can you hear me, Mr. Sola? Good evening, sir. Is it raining? Is it raining? Okay. Good evening, sir. I don't think you can hear me. Okay. Good evening, Mr. Sola.
Good evening, how are you?
Very well. My name is Dakpo. It's great to have you on the program, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
All right, we'll be live shortly.
Thank you.
The people of Ondo State will be heading to the polls on November 16th, 2024 to elect a governor that will pilot the affairs of the state for the next 4 years. According to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, 17 political parties have nominated candidates for the election. The final list of candidates published by INEC on June 14th includes incumbent Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa of the All Progressives Congress, the former Deputy Governor of the state, Agboola Ajayi of the main opposition party, that's the People's Democratic Party, and also Sola Ebiseni of the Labour Party and 14 others. The chairman of the commission, that's Professor Mahmood Yakubu, says the commission will address the challenges of prompt opening of the polling units and also effective management of results in the November 16th election in the state. Now, joining me on the program at this time to discuss this is Sola Ebiseni, is the Labour Party governorship candidate, and also we have Mr. Wole Akingbasote, is the chairman of the Ondo State People's Democratic Party Diaspora Committee or Community. Both men will be joining me virtually. Gentlemen, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
All right, I understand that we have Honorable Akingbasote at the moment. Well, let me start by first asking you, because INEC is saying right now that it will improve on the Ondo State election, given what some of the shortcomings that was observed during the Edo polls. And I know that on this program, I've had you and also members of the People's Democratic Party who have raised concerns. One of those concerns had to do with the resident electoral officer of INEC, who some sort of reservations were raised as regards, let me put it, largely, quote unquote, questionable, for your party around integrity, that your party feels she might, be compromised. Have you changed grounds?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me, and thank you again for giving me this opportunity to express myself, not only because of myself and my party, but on behalf of the Nigerians in diaspora. First of all, let's just talk about this. Nigerian diaspora, by the record as far as 2024 is concerned, has contributed about 20 billion annually to Nigeria's economy. We have remitted about 6.1% of Nigeria's GDP. That is underscoring the vital role that the diaspora people are doing. So if we are the stakeholder, then we should have a say in Nigeria's political system. And I was just happy at the beginning of your news right now, you just showed Donald Trump of America being elected yesterday. America election was based on issues. And I pray that one day, our democracy will be issue-based and not monetization or money-based. Donald Trump actually won the election on economy and immigration, while you have Harris. She campaigned on women's rights and democracy. Guess what? American people decided that they want to go for economy and immigration. So why am I saying this? I'm saying this because America was able to believe in their democratic system. There was transparency in the electoral system. Nigerians have lost faith in INEC, and we pray that they can begin to change. They can begin to allow people's votes to be counted. So the issue surrounding the credibility of the INEC or REC commissioner that is posted here, we have been complaining. Our gubernatorial candidate, Agboola Ajayi, had been complaining. They said that this woman was actually born here, that she grew up here, her parents are here. So we need an umpire that is fair. That's not going to be one-sided. So when you started casting doubt elements around you, then people will be suspicious. And we do not take Ondo State election again for granted. People are so tired. They just want their voice to be heard. That this money that they're going to be contributing, they don't want it. All they wanted is, they wanted transparency. They want their votes to be counted. They want to choose their own governor, not a governor that somebody will just sit down and be making announcements and be cooking figures. We don't want that in Ondo State.
You said the governor is cooking figures.
I said the INEC. I said we don't want a situation where INEC will be cooking figures. We want the votes to be counted. We want people to choose their own governor. So they have casted doubt on the credibility of the representative of INEC, which is that woman, and they don't want, because they know that she grew up here and she's friend to a lot of APC people. And how can you be fair when you are one-sided? So it's just for INEC to do what is right and to choose somebody who is an unbiased empire, so that they can conduct this election of Ondo State free and fair. That's what they're asking for. They're not asking for anything but that people should be allowed to choose their own governor without all this suspicious.
I mean, your point is pretty much clear. You were saying that from all you said, you are still not comfortable with the fact that the lady is still there, given the fact that you believe that she grew up there and she might have been compromised. But INEC too would also say there's the role of political parties in all of this. As a political party, which of course is the major player and the key beneficiary in all of this process, what are you also doing to ensure that you stay within the rules of engagement, particularly as regards your followers too?
Rule of engagement, like taking part of our, I don't understand that question clearly.
By rules of engagement, I mean that to ensure that your supporters, are very, very responsible players during this process. What do I mean? We don't have cases of violence. There is sensitization of supporters. They play within the rules of engagement, basically.
Yes, I can just tell you from the beginning. For the first time in the history of Ondo State, we had a primary election that elected one candidate, Agboola Ajayi. After his election, after the primary election, there was no one single petition. And not only that, we have been following the rule as being laid down by the INEC. We engage our members. As a matter of fact, just for your information, when we wanted to do our takeoff, we applied to Ondo State government. The governor denied us the democracy pact that was created by a PDP government. But we peacefully decided to go to INEC road and do it. And as a matter of fact, wherever they are campaigning, we make sure that we are far apart. So there's no cohesion. There's no cohesion.
Were you given a reason? Were you given any specific reason why you are denied from using that public facility?
There was no, they just said that a certain group of people had applied before us. And for your information, on that very day, we took our camera to the location. There was no event. Nothing was happening on that day. So it was a deliberate punishment, a deliberate, making sure that we don't have access to information. We don't have access to what the tools that we needed to have a proper campaign.
All right.
But I think that's very petty. But so far, so good. PDP is very strong. We are just waiting for November 16 and cast and let them know that, yes, we are ready to take back Alagbaka.
Okay, let me bring in Mr. Sola Ebiseni, who is, of course, the governorship candidate for the Labour Party, into the conversation. Thank you for joining the program. Now, you are a candidate, in this race. Are you comfortable with the arrangement on ground so far? Mr. Sola Ebiseni, can you hear me? Okay, I think we have a bit of connectivity issues with Mr. Sola Ebiseni. Let me come back to you, Honorable Akingbasote. Now, there's also the issue of concerns. Just yesterday on this program, we also had a governorship candidate who raised some issues. You talked about the use of public facilities, which you also raised as a challenge. Are there other areas of concerns that, as a party, you are not comfortable with?
Well, as a matter of fact, we understand that those people in power, they always use the opportunity, they always use government funds to silence people. If you can enter Akure metropolis today, 90% of the billboards were all for the present governor. We were given very limited space, but what is very important is that we do not allow all these petty elements to disturb our drive to ensure that we revive the situation in Ondo State. We go, one-on-one. As I'm speaking right now, our people are in Ondo town campaigning. So we do not let that bother us. The whole Akure metropolis is now blanketed with the governor's banners, flyers, posters, billboards everywhere, as if people are going to actually need those things to be voted for. But we know that to deny us the access of information, to deny us the access of the tool that we're really going to need for the campaign properly, it is the grassroots that we depend on.
Are you suggesting, because the scenario you are painting right now is one that suggests that your party has been sort of relegated to the back. You're painting a scenario of subtle, maybe obvious intimidation. Is that what is happening?
We are not intimidated at all. We are not intimidated at all. When you ask me a question that we have any shortcomings regarding the any complaint about what's going on, we're not going to have complaint about people who are not contested against us. We are sure we're going to have complaint about the opposition party, which is APC. But having said that, we just went through a very rigorous debate at the Dome between our candidate and their own candidate. And the deliberation between the two gentlemen actually shows to the people that our own candidate, Agboola Ajayi, is ready on day one to govern Ondo State. So we are not being intimidated. 70% or 80% of people in APC today, they're from PDP. So we know them. We know their ability, we know their capability, and we can size them up. So we are not intimidated in any way. As a matter of fact, Agboola Ajayi challenged the governor that he should take a walk with him along Akure Road and let's see who is the most popular. So it's not a matter of being intimidated. We're in the system before. We have all the word and whatever that's needed to win this election. So we are ready.
You said 70%. You said 70% of the APC almost members, 70%, almost 70% are from
members of APC. Are from PDP.
Shouldn't that be a source of worry for the People's Democratic Party? Because it's like these people already know, your blueprint. So shouldn't it be some sort of worry for the People's Democratic Party that these guys might just sell us off?
Not at all. I will call them our baby. I want somebody to come and challenge me. I will call APC our baby when it comes to Ondo State politics. We know the tricks. They learn something from us, but we are the master. And the day of election, we show the people of Nigeria, and Ondo State in particular, that PDP are ready to take over the government in Ondo State and take care of the people. People are suffering. People are really suffering, and they have never been so devastated in their life like this. So people are waiting for November 16 to cast their vote for Alfred Agboola Ajayi as the next governor, because I don't know whether the other time I wanted to tell you his program about security, his vision about education, his vision about agriculture, health and infrastructural development for Ondo State. So these are issue-based elections, not some people to be sitting down in a corner and be promising that they want to give Ondo State people 30,000 in Naira on the day of election.
Sorry, you said some people are sitting in a corner. You are alleging that some folks are sitting in a corner to give 30,000 on the day of election.
Let me just repeat what I said. It's a hearsay. It's a hearsay that the APC, they are planning to give out 30,000 on the day of election to buy people's mind. And that was the reason why at the beginning of my statement here, I said that our democracy, especially from Ondo State, should be issue-based and not money-based.
All right.
That's why I took America as an example.
All right. Honorable Akingbasote, let me leave you for a moment. Let me bring in Mr. Ebiseni, the governorship candidate for the Labour Party. Thank you for joining the program. Now, my question to you is this. You are a candidate in this race. Are you comfortable with the arrangement so far that you've seen from INEC and generally the political atmosphere?
Well, thank you very much. Let me first tell you that the name is Ebiseni, not Ebiseni. Ebiseni, if you understand Yoruba, it means that it is well and good to have family. And then I must let you know that my approach to issues as a candidate will be different from that of a spokesperson for the candidate. Besides,
Mr. Ebiseni, if you can hear me, we have a bit of connectivity issues with you.
Just talking about.
All right, Mr. Ebiseni, if you can hear me, we have a bit of difficulty connecting with you. At this point, we'll go on a quick commercial break. When we return, we'll definitely pick up. Do stay with us. Many thanks for staying with us. This is still Politics HQ on News Central Television, and today we are looking at that's the forthcoming Ondo State governorship election, which of course will be holding sometime this month. We have Mr. Sola Ebiseni is the governorship candidate of the Labour Party, and we also have Honorable Wole Akingbasote as the chairman of the Ondo State PDP diaspora community. Gentlemen, thank you for staying with me. Let me come back to you, Honorable Akingbasote. Now, let's look at some of the issues the people or the residents of Ondo State are going through. What do you consider as the top three pivotal issues that you feel should be addressed, as fast as possible? What are the residents of Ondo State going through at the moment?
For that question, right now, we know that scarcity of fuel is nationwide. It's not peculiar to a certain place. It's a federal based issue. But as far as the people of Ondo State is concerned, number one, the road network of Ondo State is as bad. I've never seen a devastated situation of the road network. I'm from Idore. Idore is about 14 kilometers to Akure, the state capital. The potholes between Akure and Idore, if you count them, they cannot be less than 300. You are going to have to drive for almost 1 hour to get to a 40 kilometer. That is just, we are neighbor. So even in Akure metropolis, it's as bad as I've ever seen before. So we need a better road network in Ondo State. Not only that, I understand that the economy of Nigeria is bad, and that is nationwide. But when it comes to infrastructural development, since this governor has been not installed, since this governor has been sworn in for 10 months, he has not been able to show one single project that he has commissioned. There's no development, infrastructural development in Ondo State since this man has been there for 10 months. So our youths are just walking around without job. And Ondo State, we are arable people. We have agriculture. I'm from Idori. And from my hometown, we are like almost the largest cocoa producer in Nigeria, if not the largest, but one of the largest cocoa producer. That area has never been exploited.
Okay.
They told us that, oh, they're going to do like cocoa processing, something for Idori. Nothing is working. So
Honorable Akingbasote, I will come back to you. I will come back to you. Let me bring in again Mr. Ebiseni into the conversation. We lost you for a moment. You were trying to establish the fact, if you are comfortable with the current arrangement ahead of the polls just around the corner.
Well, like I told you earlier on, you invited me into this program as a candidate in this election, and not as a spokesperson for a candidate or for the party. So I speak to you as a candidate, and that imposes some responsibilities on me. Like I said, as a lawyer, I do not base my statement on speculations. For our party, the issue of being personal with the resident electoral commissioner is not part of our looking at issues. Yes, we have been told she was born in Ondo State, she grew up in Ondo State. We're giving an example of the election in America now. Those who conducted the American elections are also citizens of America. To me, it is not the issue of the personality of the candidate. Whoever you bring will still be a citizen of Nigeria. But that over time, since the resumption of democracy in 1999, I think the Electoral Act has been amended a record 4 times, the last being the 2022 edition. And that, to me, is an indication, is an admission of the fact that the electoral system is not delivering as Nigerians expect. But the last
Mr. Ebiseni, are you there? I think we, of course, have a bit of connectivity issues with Mr. Sola Ebiseni. Let me go back to Honorable Akingbasote. You are actually trying to highlight some of the challenges that the residents of the state are currently going through. I remember on this program just yesterday, the issue of power came up, that, across the state, in some areas, power is a major issue. Do you also think that that needs to be looked into?
Thank you so much. Like I said, I don't want to, I try not to brush the national contained issue with the state, because power is a nationwide problem. Sometimes even some state government some state governors cannot take control of power generation except they have some support from the federal. Of course, we have power issues with the BDC and And even for example, in the southern part of Ondo State, I'm told that for so many years, there was no light there. Everybody. So this is a national issue, but something that is very, very elementary, something that is common that everybody in Ondo State needed, like education. The school fees of people, of the students, are so skyrocketed that they need something that will help the parents. So we need good quality education. Where right now in Ondo State, you have one teacher that may be teaching like 7 subjects, and the building, where the children are being set, that the environment is so poor that we need a quality and qualitative education in Ondo State. Agboola Ajayi has promised that if he becomes governor, he's going to make education free for primary and secondary, students in Ondo State. So education is one of the problems. Employment is huge, and infrastructure where youth can be employed and get them engaged instead of doing all these things that is not okay typically for good economy of a country. So we need those things. Ondo State right now, they only depends on salary. At the end of the month, you see workers, they will queue by the ATM to collect cash once in a month, and after that, that's nothing we're producing. So we need development, we need industrialization in Ondo State, and we need somebody at the helm of affairs that actually understands what people really need, not somebody who's going to be sitting down there and be listening to some people that do not actually know what is really going on. The security is so bad. They kidnap people anyhow, they kidnap others, they kidnap people here. The security is so bad.
All right.
Is one of the people that created Amotekun. He has the master plan.
We will go to the issue of Amotekun, but let's talk about some, will I call it controversies right now around your principle. I mean, in 2022, for instance, your principal faced impeachment proceedings by the Ondo State House of Assembly over allegations of gross misconduct, abuse of office, and treason. There's also alleged financial mismanagement, of course, where he was accused of mismanaging state funds and engaging in corrupt practices. There's also, a publicized disagreement he had with the late governor of the state, that's Akeredolu, leading to his defection from the APC to the PDP. And some have said that, if a man can jump ship, can he really be trusted? To talk about also election controversy, where, of course, this candidacy issue became questionable. My question to you is this: is your candidate a person of straight standing? Is he squeaky clean? Can the people of Ondo State trust him?
Yes. Ondo State people will trust Agboola Ajayi because he grew up with them, they know him. But first of all, let me just go to the beginning of your question. I don't know if you listened to the debate between the governor of Ondo State, Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, and Agboola Ajayi, when this issue of Akeredolu sprung up. The governor said it clearly, that the issue between him and his former boss is gone, and because the man has gone through the other part now, that the man has passed away now, he don't want to discuss the issue, that we should allow the dead to have peace rest. So, after said that, there's intimidation, blackmail, whatever that is being used is a tool of democratic system. People will blackmail you, people will call you names in order to get rid of you politically. It's common. So Agboola Ajayi did not, and there was no record of any investigation that shows that he's guilty, that he's fraudulent. There was nothing like that. And the issue between him and his board, he said we should allow that to rest and we should allow the dead to rest. So as far as Agboola is concerned, he has started as a politician when he was like 90 years old. As a local government chairman, they know him. As a local government chairman, then later he becomes chairman of NDDC. Then later, they love him so much, and they elected him to the House of Representatives. Not only that, Ondo State people elected him again as a deputy governor. Who has that portfolio? Who has that democratic portfolio?
What was he able to do? What was he able to do for the people of Ondo State when he was deputy governor?
He was never. He did not dupe anybody. He did not. There was no record that shows that. And if anybody has a fact to show that he duped, let them bring it.
No. My question is, what did he do for the people of Ondo State while he was deputy governor?
Did he do what?
What did he do for the people of Ondo State, particularly his immediate constituency, while he was deputy governor?
He was the deputy governor of Ondo State, and he played his role as a deputy governor. Like you rightly know, a deputy governor is under the control of the governor. He can only be given a portfolio, he can only be given an assignment, and for sure, you know, the deputy governor, they will be given the role of who's in charge of a local government. He performed his role. This is a man that lobbied Amatekun when he was there. He was the one that lobbied Amatekun. They planned this Amatekun that we are all proud of today in Ondo State. And, you know, he did everything that he could, but you know that as far as Nigerian democracy is concerned, anything that the governor wants a deputy to do, that's the limitation that he can do. He can't do above his boss. But as far as it's concerned, he played his role. Like I just mentioned, this Amatekun, Agboola Ajayi, is one of the people that planned it with the governor, and it was successful. And that system is still existing in Ondo State today for our security.
Now, talking about the issue of Amatekun, I would like you to speak on what you think, how you think, or how do you review the management now, and what you think needs to be done. Do you think Amatekun should still continue, or has it outlived its usefulness?
Well, as far as Amatekun is concerned, it's just like it's playing a role of a state police. We are all striving for state police so that people, the control can be closer to the people. Amatekun is just like a state police, and I think they are playing their role, and people can get close to them because we know them. And so Amatekun is just like the people that the state police. So they are there, but they are functioning, but they need the man that knows the secret. They need the man that knows the blueprint of Amatekun, which is Agboola Ajayi, that knows. Right now, he has said that he wants them to be more effective, and his blueprint for Amatekun will really benefit and engage our unemployed youth working on the street and make Ondo State more safer than where it is today. Amatekun, they are saying that, oh, they want to use Amatekun for electoral, whatever, in the forthcoming election. No, Ondo State people will not allow Amatekun to be used on the election day, because that's not their role. Their role is to secure our environment, is to secure the citizens of Ondo State within and outside our border. So they have a nominal role they are playing, and I really appreciate what they are doing. They are just like a state police, and I hope the federal government can think of just allowing people to have their own police. Policing is very important. So if Ondo State if state has their own policing, they will be able to have a maximum security for the property and the people of the state. All right.
Now, the Edo elections just happened a few weeks back, and your party, that's the People's Democratic Party, after, of course, the result announcement was made, lost in that election. My question is, are there takeaways as a political party ahead of Ondo State election? And if at all, for you as a party, what exactly would you say, you need to improve on, given what we saw at Ondo State?
What's happened in Ondo State, I will not call it a joke, because if I call it a joke, then that means I'm looking down on the Nigerian political democratic system. But what happened in Ondo State was not right, and we have learned what happened. We saw it, and we are not going to allow anybody to change collation center. We are not going to allow mobilization of collation center in Ondo State. We're going to vote. We're going to make sure that our vote is counted. We're going to make sure that our vote is being announced. So we're not going to allow somebody to say, oh, they want to shift the collation center to somewhere else, or INEC office. No, that's not done. So those things that happened in Ondo State was choreographed. It was a plan, something, and they did it successfully, but the technology is out there. When you vote and they record the numbers of votes on the paper, it was scanned, it was uploaded, it took rivers to a system, and now with the database, that database as a figure, you are coming here now on your microphone and you are announcing different figure and daylight. So I know that PDP, they are challenging this election, but we have learned our lesson. We're going to make sure that, number one, we're going to vote. Number two, we're going to make sure that our vote is counted. Number three, we're going to make sure that nobody shift the goalpost at the middle of the game. Nobody take collation to another place for somebody to just announce. Ondo State will not allow that.
All right.
We will not allow that.
All right, Honorable Akingbasote, we need to go on a quick break. When we return, of course, we will pick up. Do stay with us. Many thanks for staying with us. This is still Politics HQ on News Central Television. And of course, we are talking, about the forthcoming Ondo governorship poll, which will be happening just a few weeks away. Now, we still have with us Honorable Wole Akingbasote, is the chairman of the Ondo State People's Democratic Party Diaspora Community. Thank you for staying with me, sir. Now, one issue that was rife in the just concluded Ondo governorship election is the issue of vote buying. So I'm going to ask you directly, what is your party doing about this ahead of the Ondo polls?
Well, when you talk about vote buying, it's a dark ink on Nigerian image. Vote buying should not even be involved in politics. But because of the corruption of the people, they induce people with money, and it's something that they really, really need to work on. Like I said in the beginning of American election, it was issue-based, it's not money-based. So vote buying is like, to me, is a weak point. People should not encourage vote buying.
Does that include your party?
If they give
I'm sorry, sir. Does that include the People's Democratic Party ahead of this polls? You said people should not encourage vote buying. I'm asking, does that include the PDP?
Of course, General, I'm not talking of for only APC. I'm talking of Nigeria as a whole. It is a dent on our image, internationally, locally. It's a dent on our image. When they give you 30,000 naira at the election night, 30,000 naira you will buy food in Nigeria of today. 30,000 naira will not serve a food for 3 days alone. It's shameful. It's shameful. Like yesterday, Kamala Harris knocked on 100,000 doors in Philadelphia so that they can interact with people and tell people what they want to do with people. We should not be monetizing our politics. It's a dent on our image.
I mean, talking about the candidates, interacting with voters, and of course, appearing on public fora to speak to the people and maybe sell their manifesto. An issue in Nigeria, which seems to be a consistent, will I use the word normal now, is candidates not wanting to interface with electorates and even the media. So I would like to put that question to you. Why do you think that is?
Well, it's because even the people does not know they don't know the work of their votes. They don't know, because as a matter of fact, I was a senior legislative aide in the National Assembly at the Senate. And I work over there with a senator as a principal officer. I know that there's a disconnect between the Nigerian community and the people that were elected, the elected officer. So there's a disconnect between them. So the people does not even know their role, that they are very important, that whenever they cast that vote inside that box, they have given their right for the next 4 years to one single person, to a candidate. So this education, people should be educated that they have a right. It's not that because they give them money one day on the election day, and that was all. So, and I'm sure that these political classes, they are taking advantage of the ignorance of the electorate, of their role in the society. And because of that, they take advantage of that, just give them money, and they don't want information, transparency. You will have a consistency project for a community by all this electorate. They will just decide to put something there. Even the community does not even know. They don't ask for it. So they just walk away with a lot of things. So it's so unfortunate that Nigerian electorate, they don't know the value of the vote that they are casting that day, the legality behind voting, voting process. But you do that for the next 4 years. It's a contract between you and your creator. Unfortunately, they don't know. They just got money on the day of election and they suffer for the next 4 years. So we just want people of Ondo State not to allow their conscience to be bought. The future of their children is very important than the money they're going to get on the election day, on the election night.
All right. I mean, what I'm saying all of this is that we, of course, have been making frantic efforts to get your principal on the program to speak. I hope maybe you'll be able to deliver the message that we would like to hear from him directly.
Of course.
Okay.
I will encourage you to come over here to your channel and speak, because whatever you are doing now is being transmitted all over the world. So I will let him know that he needed to, and I can promise you that I will make sure that you have an interaction with him.
Okay, now great. Before I let you go in 90 seconds, what will your principal do differently as regards the economy in Ondo State? How will it boost the IGR of the state such that, from being, one of the, what I call it, maybe a federal allocation dependent states to becoming a state that can stand on its own, generate its own revenue, maybe even sponsor other states?
Yes. He has just said it's very simple. Agboola Ajayi is from the riverine area. And he has promised that if he's been given the opportunity to become a governor of Ondo State, that it will open up the sea that we have in Ondo State. It will open up the Olokola sea that is over there so that people can come and open up Ondo State and people can come and trade. And it will use that for employment of our youth. And not only that, it's going to engage the youth in the area of farming, encourage them, not just giving them money, but encourage them to let them know the importance of farming, because that's what we inherited by our forefather. Ondo State is blessed with a lot of agricultural, elements. So it's going to exploit agriculture, it's going to exploit infrastructure. As a matter of fact, he has actually said that he will open up our cargo airport so that our cargo here can engage foreign and just deliver goods. So he has a lot of things to ensure that Ondo State is being developed, is not even depending only on the federal monthly allocation. So he wanted to open the seaport. He wanted to open that seaport and make sure that everybody take advantage of what we have, because he said what Lagos is enjoying now is like half of what we have. So the Olokola seaport will be used, will be maximally exploited to benefit the good people of Ondo State.
All right. Thank you so much for your time on the program. Honorable Wole Akingbasote is the chairman of the Ondo State PDP diaspora community. Once again, sir, thank you for your time.
It's been a pleasure, and thank you for the opportunity. And I will make sure that I deliver your message to Agboola Ajayi so you can know the kind of pleasure guy he is. Thank you. All
right. Thank you. Would, of course, look forward to having him on the program. Well, that's a wrap on the show today. In case you missed out, you can actually catch up on our YouTube platform. That's News Central TV. You can also choose to follow us across social media with the same name on your screen. News Central TV. You can follow me personally at Dapo Adigboye across social media. Of course, the opinions of our guests remains theirs and not that of News Central. Until I come your way tomorrow, good night.